Out on the M1000R today, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, what the heck does that have to do with the topic? And you know what? Absolutely nothing. You're 100% right. It's got nothing to do with the topic. But, hey, since when do these motor vlogs have to make sense? Let's get going here. So I am on my way to another local bike night, and I wanted to talk about the Honda Goldwing versus the BMW GS Adventure, specifically the 1250, which is what I have, and which one makes a better touring motorcycle, which one makes a better long-distance motorcycle. And I'm not going to keep you in suspense. The answer is the Goldwing. So thanks everybody for watching, and we'll catch you later. All right, wait a minute. Let me go into a little bit more detail on why I say that. And while the Goldwing does make the better touring motorcycle, to my surprise, there are some things that the GSA does a little bit better than the Goldwing, and there's some things where it's right neck and neck. So let's talk about the comparison of the two bikes. Now again, I'm only talking about if you're going long distance. I'm not talking about naturally adventure riding. You're not going to take a Goldwing on an adventure ride. This is strictly you bought the adventure bike, the GSA, and you're looking to go on some long distance trips. So let's start with the Goldwing. The first category that I would say the Goldwing excels on is comfort. And there's different levels of comfort. So let me talk about just overall comfortability. The Goldwing is a much more comfortable ride. There's smoothness in the shifting. The engine is just fantastic. It's just, for those of you that have been on a Goldwing, and if you've never test ridden a Goldwing, there's reasons why people get them and they just don't get rid of them. They're loyalists to the Goldwing. They keep them for 60, 70,000 miles. It's because that engine is just, it's butter. It's smooth. It's just, I think there was even a YouTube video that you can look up where somebody rode, in fact, I know this was because I remember watching it. Somebody rode and they put a wine glass on the back of their Goldwing on the passenger seat, and they rode around and they didn't spill any because it's just that smooth. So when you're talking about comfort of riding, the Goldwing is just there. And when you're talking about comfortability when it comes to ergonomics, this is where I guess I'm going to give the advantage to the BMW. So let me talk about me. I'm 6'1". I have a 34-inch inseam, so I have long legs, 36-inch reach. So long legs, long arm. I find the Goldwing a little bit cramped. I would say, and everybody's different, but if you're 6'1" or taller and you're looking at a Goldwing, I would say go sit on one first, especially the newer generation, the 6th generation. Your legs, at your knees can be a little bit cramped in the seating position. So what I find is with my Goldwing, highway pegs are a must. You have to have the ability to stretch your legs out. The GSA, you sit up higher. There's just more leg room. It's just a much more comfortable, I guess, seating position as far as my legs go. I don't necessarily, even though I put highway pegs on my GSA, I don't necessarily use them all the time. I use them occasionally. But the great thing about the ergonomics and the comfortability is that on the GSA, if you need to stretch out, you can just stand up, for periods of time while you're riding and stretch. Well, naturally, it's difficult to do that, or not as easy to do it on a Goldwing. That's the advantage you have on the GSA. Second area that I would give to the Goldwing, again, it's huge to me, is wind protection. Again, you're going on a long trip. If you're going hundreds and hundreds of miles, let's say, a minimum of 300 miles a day. Let's say you're doing at least 300 miles a day, for one day, multiple days, it doesn't matter. After a while, that wind is going to beat up on you. And you want some wind protection. You want some fairing help. You want some windshield help. I just find that the Goldwing is way better in blocking that wind down, and you don't get the wind fatigue that you would normally get on other bikes. So that's a plus for the Goldwing. Now, I will say about the GSA, the thing about the wind protection is not bad. That's why I said, with this comparison, the GSA is really close up there. When I took a long trip on the GSA, it wasn't as great of wind protection, but I was not beat up. It was adequate. It was comfortable, to ride on. I was getting definitely more wind on my shoulders and on my helmet than I would have got on the Goldwing. But not so much where, I got a headache or just, again, like you felt like you're getting beat up. Didn't get that on the GSA. So with the wind protection, I would have no problem taking the GSA back out on a long trip, even though it's not as good as the Goldwing. Let's talk about storage. So again, it's not an apples to apples comparison, but with your Goldwing Tour, you're going to get the side bags, you're going to get the trunk, decent amount of storage. With the GSA, it does not come with built-in storage, but almost everyone that's going to get a GSA, you're going to get some panniers, you might get a top box or something like that. If you add that, and I'm just going to make the assumption you do, because just about everybody does, I think the storage capabilities on the GSA are a little bit better than the Goldwing. Let's talk about fuel range. And again, this is not an apples to apples. This is just what I have, so I'm comparing the two bikes that I have. GSA, you're going to get more range because it has basically an 8-gallon tank, just shy of an 8-gallon tank. I think I averaged about 45 miles at the gallon. The Goldwing is a 5.5-gallon tank. It's, again, maybe 45, around the same miles per gallon, maybe a little bit less. It's sort of a moot point, and the reason why I say that is I normally, when I'm on a trip, the most I'll go before I stop and stretch my legs or do something is maybe 100, 150 miles. Usually by 150 miles, I'm going to stop and get off the bike. And then usually, even with the GSA, I might gas. Let's talk about seat comfort. In this category, it's a wash, because I believe that both the Honda and the BMW have garbage seats from the manufacturer. I think you're going to find that you're going to either be upgrading the seat or adding an air cushion or something to help you out with the butt pain straight from the factory seat. So it's a wash. You're going to have to, you can make them comfortable, but to me with both bikes, you're going to have to do something to get to that level. Infotainment. On a Goldwing by a long shot on this one. Reason I say that is because it is equipped with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which means I can connect my phone, and I've got Google Maps, I've got Waze, I've got my Audible books, I've got everything that you would have in Apple CarPlay on my bike. So there you have it. That's my take on those two bikes. Again, for me, it's the Goldwing. If I'm going to go on a long trip, it's just more comfort on the Goldwing. But I guess the surprise thing to my mind is just how close the GS 1250 Adventure is. Again, I would not, I guess, if you're going back and forth about which one of these bikes you might want to get, and you are more of a long distance rider, you can't go wrong with either one. I think you're going to be happy with either one of these bikes. So the surprise to me was just how close it was. But again, Goldwing for the win. So anyway, I hope this video helps out some people that might have been looking at both those bikes. And I thank you guys for watching. If you don't mind, if you can hit the like button, hit the share button. And hey, how you doing? Yeah. Hit the share button and the subscribe button. And we will be talking to you soon.